Hey guys, what you are about to hear today is a podcast that was recorded for an old radio show slash podcast of mine called Jump Cuts slash Jump Cuts Adjacent. This was recorded back in college before Bomb Squad ever became a thing for us. It has my good friend Josh Campbell and current member of the Bomb Squad, Ethan Hawker. We've only released this once, and it never really gained any traction, so we're re-releasing it now under the Bomb Squad name, and we're really hoping you enjoy it. This is super proto-Bomb Squad, easily the earliest thing, recording-wise, that we've released under the channel. But I really hope you guys enjoy it, and on with the show.
Let me tell you of the days of high...
My balls itch. Okay, let's go. I got this. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the Adjacent Jump Cuts podcast. I'm Tanner Kraft, and with me I have
Josh Campbell.
and
Ethan Hawker.
Ethan Hawker's here.
and what movie did we watch? We watched an
The
Italian
Beyond.
soap opera called The Beyond.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it, Tanner?
It's fine. It had good production values. I thought the performance.
Hey, we're not going to get into the descriptions of what happened first. We're going to start with some background.
Not.
Tanner's gonna Ethan's gonna lead the conversation on this one because
La
Ethan
Dila.
liked this movie quite a bit because he likes sexist directors.
Correct. I love I mean, that's just all directors.
Lucio
That's-
Fulci is not a great man.
Yeah, Lucio Fulci is not a great man, but a good artist.
Did we say the name of the movie?
The film is The Beyond, or
Il Biondo.
Al di là nivore terrore.
La via
I don't think that's
strangriato.
correct, but it's basically like Into the Beyond, or You Will Know Terror, The Beyond. It's a nice title. It's also called Seven Doors of Death in when it was originally released in English in a heavily edited form, and it's the second in Lucio Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy.
The first one, House
makes it a
by the
trilogy?
cemetery.
No, the first one is City of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
And the third one is House by the Cemetery.
Nice.
The Beyond is generally considered the best of the three, though
I
the other
thought
two are still
they-
pretty good.
Yeah, people like House by the Cemetery, don't they?
House by the I think House by the Cemetery is generally the least regarded of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it have eyeball deaths?
Oh, of course.
Then I still want to see it.
Yeah, I mean it's still good.
I don't like eyeball stuff.
Tanner, why don't you sit on corner and then you'd be closer? And then we could touch you.
Hopefully, my phone charger can reach that far.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No,
it's fine.
it's a 10-foot cord.
I'd hate for you not to be able to use your phone in the middle of our podcast.
I am going to use it to look stuff up.
I'm going to touch Tanner's leg right now. Let's see what he says.
And also, I have a few notes. And by that, I mean I have one.
I don't have any notes.
Okay, so The Beyond is very much in the vein of a lot of Italian horror films, Italian horror fare of the time. It's capitalizing on the zombie trend that Fulci would have sort of started, along with George Romero, when Fulci directed Zombie 2, and that sort of kicked off the larger trend of cheapo zombie films. And it's sort of in that genre. The problem is The Beyond is probably the most zombie-y of the Gates of Hell trilogy, largely because it was because of editorial mandate. Originally, there was only supposed to be one dead person, which was going to be the Schweiss, the artist from the opening.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I believe it's I believe the character's name.
Schweik.
Schweig.
It's
So,
Schwart, or
wait,
it's,
like,
it's something
did
kind of sort of
Did the
ridiculous.
producers force them to make more zombie?
Yes, the producers insisted on having more zombies so they could market
Remember
it as
that thing
zombie
you did
film.
with that movie
Walking
called
Dead is-
Zombie?
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of dead corpses that are walking around that are pretty integral to the plot, like
You
several
know-
of them.
Was this part of the video nasty type of dealios that was going on in England during the 80s?
It was one of the ones that was categorized as a video nasty, but it wasn't outright banned,
Okay.
which is weird because. All right, so for some frame of reference, basically, there was
Yeah,
a
I have
sen-
no idea what video nasty is.
It's interesting. We'll talk about it.
Loosely speaking, Josh can probably speak more to the specifics of it, but the video nasties were there was a British board of censorship that would either cut films, horror films in particular, or they would just outright ban them in Britain. Like, for instance, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was classified as a video nasty, and you could only really watch it at, like, there were a few places that would show it theatrically.
Kind of like a grindhouse type of dealio over in the States.
Yeah, like a grindhouse theater or like a peep show theater that would usually show like adult films.
Peep show?
And it was also stuff like Cannibal Holocaust, The Toxic Avenger, real low budget, like, Z-rate horror films that were just obscenely violent.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, also Blood Feast was a video nasty.
Blood Feast.
Blood Feast sucks.
Blood Feast is not a great movie, but Blood Feast is nowhere, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is nowhere near as close.
Well, yeah, there's like no gore.
Yeah, like, I think that there's a story behind that where basically the guy who wanted to cut it, he watched through the whole thing like multiple times, and he was like, he just couldn't find anything to cut. It's just that the atmosphere is so oppressive, so he's just like, screw it, and just banned it outright.
God, it's such a good movie.
So
we
he
should
didn't wanna do his
we should do one of those on Texas Chainsaw. That
Did he
movie
like the movie?
changed me.
I don't think he did because he banned it.
They were pretty. It was kind of like
Maybe he banned it because he had to.
Do you know the explicit music board in like the late '80s in the U.S. where like Tipper Gore was like, we can't have this profane stuff. That's kind of like what the video nasty stuff
but
was.
then all it did was boost album sales?
Yeah, like kids really wanted to go see this like crazy explicit shit because like I want to see someone get impaled in the jungle. That sounds dope, and I agree.
Yeah, and the video nasties, some of them were just banned on video as well, like hence the term video nasties. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't actually outright banned on video, I don't believe. But like Driller Killer was. Driller Killer is a terrible movie, by the way. Lucio Fulci is very much like getting into the director and his oeuvre, his body of work.
Oeuvre?
Yeah.
Eli Roth?
Yeah.
Is Eli Roth?
So
I love the
Lucio
Green
Fulci is
Inferno.
best known for making the children's films in the White Fang series, based on the classic novels by he's best known for horror films.
I thought you were about to blow my mind by telling me he started off making
He did make
kids films.
He did make children's films initially, and
Did he
even
make The Red
actually
Balloon?
he made children's films after he made giallos. Like he made the White Fang movies; those are ostensibly children's adventure films, and he made those after he made Don't Torture a Duckling, which is considered
good. I like directors with range.
it's considered one of the earliest giallos, and Don't Torture a Duckling
In the
is
'60s?
really good.
Was he active in the '60s?
He was active in the '60s and I think in the late '50s.
Really?
Did Zombie
yeah,
One
he
not-
was active before Argento.
Didn't his
even.
first zombie movie come out in the 60s?
No, his
No,
first
Zombie
movie
was '79, wasn't it?
yeah 79.
Yeah.
I have no idea when this guy was alive.
Have you seen Zombie?
Yes, I have. I was talking to Ethan the other day about whether or not Sallow or Zombie is a better movie.
Sallow's a great movie.
It is. I can't watch it again. So
No, it's
Zombie.
very oppressive, but yeah, it's a better movie than that.
You're talking about Sallow versus a
I
Serbian
like Zombie.
film.
Zombie 2 is not a perfect movie by any means, but again, it's one of those movies where the atmosphere and the soundtrack really get to me. Like a lot of the Fulci films. Sallow is well made.
You
but
just like Fabio
great.
Fizzi.
I do like Fabio Frizzi.
Just like those Italian boys.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
Hey, he's a
Let's go
vaguely
save the
Italian boy,
Princess of Peach.
Ooh, give me the
I'm
boy.
sorry, Rain Conversy.
So basically,
Is he Italian?
Lucio
Yeah.
Fulci is
I'd
sort
kiss
of
him.
in that tradition of Mario Bava especially.
Mario.
Of making these absolutely like really pretty films. He makes a lot of same as Argento. He makes a lot of very, very pretty movies on very low budgets that are horror. But the difference between him, between Fulci as opposed to Argento and Bava, is Fulci was usually even lower, like lower budget, but he's not classified in that range of like just bad, like shitty Italian horror directors like Claudio Fragasso or Bruno Mattei.
Kind of in the middle, where he doesn't have that like art house appeal of Suspiria or anything.
Yeah, Fulci. The problem, and that can largely be characterized by Fulci's willingness to linger on violence. Argento and Bava, what they would do is, it's commonly described the way it's cut. It's like the camera is almost flinching from the violence.
Like a Lubitsch touch, where it's like kind of up to you, but you
yeah,
get
or
really
like,
close to it.
or it's very briefly shown. Like
Okay.
you only see a snippet of it. Whereas Fulci very much revels in pain.
I love it.
I
I love those eyeballs. That's
Yeah.
the best part of his movie.
Yeah, he's very good at suspense.
Very uncomfortable too, the way he lingers on it.
Yeah, he does really good stuff with the long shot, and it's clear that part of that is working within his means, because it's like we spent all this money to do an effects shot, so we're going to show the effects shot. But I feel like there's an awareness to it. Like at the point where he really started working in giallo and horror, he'd worked in film long enough that he had an idea of how he wanted to go about things. And so like he's probably the most extreme of the classic horror icons, I'd say. And his films are often beautiful, but unlike, say, Bava's or Argento's, they don't really revel in saturated colors like those do. His films, like, they do a lot of stuff with contrast and lighting, but they're generally more muted. And beyond
this one's this one's more colorful than like Zombie. Zombie's pretty like
bland,
beige. Yeah, it's very like muted colors,
bland.
like you were saying.
Like, I like Zombie, but I wish it was more colorful.
Tanner doesn't like Lucio Fulci.
I liked the movie.
Tanner didn't like this movie. He was tired.
I liked the movie.
He had low blood sugar.
No, I would say...
Ethan, back me up.
Yeah, no, Tanner seems to like the movie. I do agree with the point on Zombie. I think it is very attractive, especially the nighttime sequences and the stuff with when you see fire, but the daytime sequences are pretty conventionally shot, especially compared to the Beyond or really any of the Gates of Hell trilogy.
No, I'm going to say it. I like this more than Zombie.
I think that's fair. Like, I think Zombie is a film, like The Beyond.
Zombie's too straightforward. The Beyond at least kept me confused the whole time.
Zombie 2 is interesting in that it was the first marriage of the conventional zombie, of the traditional Haitian zombie film, like White Zombie and I Walked with a Zombie, that like you saw in the 30s, and the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead style, which is why I think it's a pretty interesting curio. Also, I just think the effects work is a little bit better than like Dawn of the, like, just because there aren't as many, they can put a lot more polish on the effects. And like Maggot Eye Zombie, which is actually what it's called. The Maggot Eye Zombie in Zombie 2 just looks great. There's a lot of really good effects work and makeup work in that film.
I like it when they eat the shower girl, when they're just like munching on her innards and you see it.
Yeah. Wait, do you see that?
Yeah, you go into the house whenever he's like, I have to check on my wife, who I don't really like and beat.
What the
and then they're like, you see them just like munching.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like he's.
Why'd you do a Lugosi thing?
The boat can leave now. Like,
I want to punch my wife.
He's got a very deep. Like,
I want to beat up my wife.
Like, we're not talking about I walk.
Women are stupid. I want to beat up my wife. And then he goes into her house, and then they like grab a spear off the wall, and they have to fight him off. Yeah, they're
what movie are you talking about?
In Zombie 2. This happens.
Yeah, like
I don't think I've seen Zombie 2.
No, it's just called Zombie in the West, but it's called Zombie 2 because it's supposed to be a sequel to.
I get that.
Romero,
I'm saying
right?
I haven't seen it.
What? Didn't you say you saw it?
Because you said you like this more than Zombie 2.
You know what? I'm so confused right now. No, I said I like this more than Zombie.
Zombie and Zombie 2 are the same movie. It's all Zombie is what it was called.
The Italian title Zombie 2.
You confused me. I'm
because
sorry.
in Italy, Zombie, the film that's just called Zombie, is Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, so this is like.
I forgot about
Dawn
that. That's why I got so confused.
I understand. I think we did call it Zombie.
Yeah,
I guess I usually like to use the distinction of calling it Zombie Flesh Eaters.
I try and call it Zombie 2 just because Zombie is kind of a generic title, but
I like the Zombie Flesh Eater subtitle personally. That's just always been my favorite.
Why did they make him make a sequel to a movie that wasn't his?
Because Italian.
It wasn't even a sequel. Like, it was never even conceived as a sequel. It was purely a marketing thing.
Yeah.
It was really his own original deal.
It's like how
it took some inspiration from Dawn, but
like the first Rambo movie's called First Blood, and then the second Rambo movie's called Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
Please don't.
And then Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then he's on an elephant in the sequel. It's like, it's not called Elephants of the Lost Ark.
You know what?
But I digress.
They're calling the new one Last Blood, but I digress.
But again, you see a lot of that.
I'm not editing this. We're just riding this out.
A lot of the Zombie 2 effects stuff, you very much seen the Beyond. I would say Beyond is more of an effect showcase, certainly, than even Zombie 2.
It's very atmospheric.
And the cinematography in the Beyond, I feel like a lot of that comes from it being shot in buildings, like, so it's a lot easier to frame and do staging and block things out. Like, for the same reason, I think like Suspiria is a gorgeous film, largely, and I think basically exclusively because it's shot indoors, so they were able to use sound stages.
A lot of control over all the lighting and the look.
Yeah, as opposed to like Deep Red, which is another Argento film, which is not nearly like it's occasionally very, very beautiful and it has some great sequences, but it's not a great movie. It's not a great murder mystery. it's pretty weak sauce, frankly. I'm sure I'm gonna make some people mad by saying that because I'm not the biggest Deep Red guy. It's a fine enough movie. I think I was just disappointed because I had really high expectations going into it. But like especially comparing it to Suspiria, which is just gorgeous movie. But
I digress.
I do digress.
When are you getting to your
We're
hot
talking
take?
about The Beyond.
Because The Beyond. The
Get to
Beyond
your hot take.
is this.
We're not doing hot takes. We still got to talk about what happened in the damn movie.
So The Beyond is.
Why do we have to do that?
Informed by Lovecraftian mythos, the Book of Aden.
Seriously, why do we have to describe it though?
Well, we're just gonna go over like a very brief summary. We're not gonna do a long form
Okay,
summary
is it
like
not
The
like
Witch.
it's going to be different than Angel's Egg, where it's an hour and a half podcast?
Well, I
and
mean,
an
'cause
hour
that
is
was, like-
describing the movie.
Well, a big part of that is dissecting. You kind of have to dissect it scene by scene and then as a whole, because I feel like
That's fair.
independently, like The
I haven't
Beyond.
seen the movie.
The Beyond is sort of. I don't know. The Beyond
Beyond's
is
so
very
fucking
scene-
loose. I don't think it fucking matters. Like the plot, it's
by-
very difficult to follow.
By Fulci's own admission, when they started shooting, they didn't have a script. They had a 3-page treatment.
That's so stupid.
Genius.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who are you, Wong Kar Wai?
Oh, It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
I mean, it worked, but
Well, I mean, it worked, but it works for a lot of people. Like, to be fair, it completely invalidates my argument that I think Scanners is bad because they wrote it as they were going along. Because I guess Scanners is just bad.
Yeah.
That's
Head Explosion's good though.
yeah. Scanners isn't awful. It's just that the main character
God,
is a very very bad actor.
sucks.
Videodrome is far
Just
better.
picking away over there, aren't you?
Yeah, you're wrong. Videodrome is good
grabbing
because
away.
it's charismatic.
it itched.
Because the lead is actually charismatic. All right, we're talking about every horror movie but The Beyond.
Yeah, I will have to edit this.
I feel like The Beyond
Yeah.
has a lot of context to it, though. Like,
The
zombie stuff is important to talk about, I feel like.
Yeah, like I feel like the zombie stuff was kind of tacked on, frankly. I mean, even but like beyond knowing that it's tacked on.
Oh, you mean in the movie?
Yeah, in the context.
Yeah, it's absolutely tacked on. When all the zombies show up at the end, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, like even at the end though, like it was not supposed to be more than one. It was just supposed to be.
You can justify the other ones, like the plumber and stuff. I feel like it would have been more scary if it was just the one.
Well, then how would you describe this movie in like a brief sentence? Because I don't really know how to go unless we're going into the plot of like
People
what,
die.
like
It's
what is it about? Is it a cursed house? It is a cursed painter? What?
It's the gates to
So
hell.
the plot of the house is basically it's sort of like it starts off in a flashback in the 1920s, and it's the Book of Aden or Aiden, which is it's a Cthulhu mythos thing. It's not from Lovecraft. It's from a friend of Lovecraft who wrote it into a short
friend
story.
of a friend.
Yeah, I mean, so you can enjoy his short fiction a bit better because he's not
Oh.
an awful racist.
There you go. Kind of repented.
I
at
don't
the end.
like the Call of Cthulhu
Kind of,
as a
sort of.
story.
We're not talking about Cthulhu.
It was
Yeah.
bad.
It is a lot like Cthulhu though. They're in Louisiana. And they
Yeah,
go to
it's
the
very
They're in Louisiana.
no,
Yeah.
it does have sort of a Lovecraftian vibe to it, but more of the pulpy Lovecraft stuff. Like there's a like it's not quite Reanimator or like Herbert Gordon Reanimator if you want to be. Well, I think that's the name.
Shut the fuck up.
Lovecraftian stuff just feels way more epic than what The Beyond is.
Well, I mean, again, like Lovecraft is more than just the Cthulhu material,
Yeah,
more than
but
just
that's what I care about.
like this is more in the vein of Reanimator, but with shade or like Dreams in the Witch House, not like Dagon or something
Up
like
until
that.
2 years ago, I thought H.R. Geiger and H.P. Lovecraft was the same person.
I can believe that. You're pretty dumb, so
They have very similar names.
not really.
They both start with H.
Yeah, that's about it.
And they both do like this.
Geiger, I hardly even know.
They
her.
both do grand sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, but H.R. Giger wasn't super racist.
Is Geiger alive
Giger
or dead?
even write anything? He
died.
just drew stuff.
Also, his name's Giger.
When did Giger die?
He died not too long ago. I
Yeah.
think it was 2010.
Because I remember people were
I
talking
like his
about
art.
You
Yeah, he
like
was an
big
artist.
penis?
He
Alien
did a
penis?
painting called Behemoth, which is just a cat face. It's just the face, like a cute cat face with big wide eyes. It's adorable.
So The Beyond.
I mean, I'm sure it's like a vagina thing. Or
So the
whatever.
Josh, you're
film
gonna have
starts.
to edit so much stuff out.
The film starts. We're in Louisiana swamp. We have an angry mob of people going through the swamp to get to a hotel.
Yeah, to kill this.
and then they chain
this,
whip a guy to death.
Satanic artist.
Yeah, this you evil warlock name. I believe it. I keep wanting to say it's Schweiss.
I'll pull it up. Hold on.
He's a
That guy killed me.
He's
I thought the opening was kind of funny until the whipping started.
I loved it. I thought the whipping was hot.
like the way the nighttime sequences are photographed really well. And they really show off the use of contrast. The only thing I wish is that it had been done in conventional black and white instead of sepia.
I like the sepia. I thought it was like a
hated
storybook.
the sepia.
I like
Why?
it, but I feel like maybe the
It
remaster
looked
put a bit,
ugly.
I feel like maybe the remaster put a bit too much yellow into it.
Black
or
and
something.
white would have added some more dynamic stuff to it.
Nope.
Well, you're wrong.
Nope. This is the type of good discussion you can expect on the adjacent podcast.
Well, again, I just don't. I like the movie fine.
Schweik. The character's name is Schweik. My apologies.
Schweik.
Schweiss. I knew.
They're all Italian names.
Schweik is not an Italian name.
This was produced by Germans, by the way, and shot in America. This was actually shot in New Orleans. And on Italian
so that's why it looks authentic.
Because it is. It was also shot on sound stages in Italy for the effect sequences.
You telling me they didn't go to New Orleans for the hell sequence? Spoilers, I guess, but
yes. So the painter Schweik is murdered violently by these people who claim that he's a warlock, while Schweik claims that he's the only thing keeping them safe.
That's what he was saying?
Yeah, like I'm the only thing standing in the way of.
I believe it.
This
Is that what his
Some
painting
really
was
bad
for?
stuff happened.
It wasn't just the painting; it was also the Book of Aden, which is like again, it's like a Cthulhu mythos thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what they do is they take him to the basement of the hotel he's staying at, the Seven Doors Hotel, hence the American title, English title, Seven Doors of Death.
Screw that title. The Beyond is way better.
I don't hate Seven Doors of Death as a title.
I
but
prefer the Beyond.
I mean,
Beyond is good. It's
The
pretty
Beyond
ambiguous.
makes you be like, whoa.
It's no Cleopatra, Queen of Sex, but I mean, it's pretty good.
They call me the King of Sex.
I think it's called. I think in German it's just called like the Ghost Town of Zombies. Like it's just very.
That's
literal.
what this is called.
German titles are always so literal. Do you know that in
the Ghost Town of Zombie.
That sounded more Spanish than
The
German.
Ghost Town.
in Germany, the Captain America
Schweik.
movies are just
There we
called
go.
The First Avenger. So the second movie is called The First Avenger, Winter Soldier, and then the third movie is called The First Avenger, Civil War.
I'm into it.
I dig.
I don't know how I managed to force Marvel movies into the discussion, but I pulled it off.
Don't worry, Tanner. We'll get to those later. So
Oh, you're really gonna make me upset.
Just you wait.
yeah, no. So
You're gonna say something about Spider-Man 2.
no. So they crucify Schweig, and it's actually a really cool effect where they figured out how to move his arms.
Hammer through his.
Yeah, because they threaded his arms through the wall so that his hands would come out the end, so he could actually like writhe
Oh,
while
yeah?
the dummy arms would shake. And they filled them with blood.
Yeah, that was
It's not very
dope.
cool.
I loved it. It's very uncomfortable when they hammer through the skin. It's like, ooh,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of looked away. There were a bunch of parts of this movie where I didn't feel comfortable watching.
it's
Which
good.
is weird because I've seen all the Saw movies.
It's a good
and
video
I'm able
nasty.
to watch the Saw movies.
Yeah,
fine.
like it does that
Yeah, I
does
think
that
the lingering thing is
Lingers.
big on it.
and
and it's long and drawn out.
yeah,
Mhm.
and they pour I think
we'll
it's
get to
I think it's
that.
technically called like quicklime or something but it's basically just like boiling hot wax, boiling hot lye, and they pour it on his face and then they cement him up in the
They
wall.
flick it on his face.
They
Yeah.
went so extra.
And
with
this
it.
is like that's the thing. Fulci goes extra. He lingers on.
But I mean, in
things.
universe, what's
Just like
wrong
the
with these people?
cranberries.
I feel
They're
like
angry. They're angry racists. They're in the South.
But they're all white.
warlock.
I
just like the way that guy says warlock in that movie. I'm not gonna lie, it's really
Warlock.
good.
That's the only word I remember being said in
Warlock.
the opening.
He announces it a lot. Well, it's narrated by a character who's going to come back later. A blind
is it
lass.
Blind Lady?
Yeah, a blind lass.
Marble Eyes.
Yeah, I believe her name's Emily.
Emily Marble Eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's Marble Eyes. Maybe she was born.
So then we cut to 60 years later, some odd. I think it's like
It's modern.
yeah,
times
late
for the
late
time.
70s, early 80s.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember exactly what the title card says, but
Mhm.
a young woman has purchased the estate.
It's the money pit. She's
yeah.
buying a house.
Yeah, and so at this point, it's the film is very much detached. By Fulci's own admission, it was basically he wanted to string together a bunch of like he planned out the sequences, the gore sequences and stuff first.
So it was. Yeah, it seemed like that. Like I'm just.
Overplanned them.
Yeah, like I'm just waiting for people to die, and like there's a loose connections in this plot.
And the death scenes are
The
long and
plot's-
drawn out.
I love the death scenes.
They're
The-
kind of boring.
They're so good.
the
The
plot-
death scenes are the parts of the movie I didn't like. I liked everything else about it.
Incorrect
the plot-
opinion. I love the death scenes.
the plot stuff is not held together very well, but it's still kind of weirdly engaging.
That's what I thought. I thought the plot was engaging, and that's what kept me attached because I did not like the death scenes.
Yeah, like the plot stuff, like what little there is, it's sort of like
It keeps you going like, huh? What?
I think
Interesting.
Yeah, I think because it is so violent, like it's just so over the top in its violence and stuff.
You get too desensitized to it.
It's not just that you get desensitized to it. It's not like Poltergeist or Amityville, where those films like Beyond has a very distinct atmosphere and it can like genuinely build up a lot of suspense. But it's not like Amityville and Poltergeist kind of live and die on their suspense, on like that build up. There's not a whole lot of actual gore in those films.
I think I just like build up more than gore in horror movies. I think that's my thing.
I mean, I feel like that's the truth. Like, because payoff is so difficult. Like, I think that's what a lot of people's issues with Stephen King's body of fiction is that he's very good at build up, but he's just not great. His payoff.
Because I think a lot of horror films don't
disagree with that.
give you a good payoff, and I think Fulci does. You know, when you finally get there, it's like satisfying.
I wish there was more build up to it, and I feel like the payoff's too long.
I love it. Good eyeballs. Good nail through the back of the head.
He should leave you wanting more.
Nah, that's the whole point of a video nasty is it goes over the board, you know?
I just don't like the video nasty.
Yeah.
format.
And plus, I guess the part of the Beyond is it's not just gore for like. I mean, it is technically. Gore
It is
for
gore for
It's-
gore's sake.
yeah, but it's not.
But it's
not
well-
Blood Feast, you know, where it's literally like there's absolutely no thought into this except for let's show some death shit. Like there is
No, because
Set up in
Bloodfeast
the
also said,
scenes.
let's show some titties.
Does it-
some titty.
Do you even see any titty in that movie?
In the opening sequence,
You don't see titty.
Not really.
You see her getting into a tub.
you
It's-
definitely see titty in Bloodfeast.
I think
That's
very,
for
Remember they whip
discussion.
her?
very briefly.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
cut around for the most part, but Beyond doesn't really have that.
yeah, there's no naked people in Beyond, is there?
at the very end there is. They are all naked because we'll get into that.
Quick
So-
titty.
So basically, while they're doing so there's this woman named Liza who purchases this hotel, and she's doing renovations on it, building it, fixing it up with. There's like a creepy old woman and kind of weird young gentleman who
Pervert, I think, is the implication I was supposed to get.
I don't know. He's just a weirdo. They're just they're some odd ducks who run the hotel. And during the renovations, Joe the plumber, because I remember
Joe the plumber.
Joe's a legend. Did you see his beard? It
Joe
was
the
great.
plumber.
Joe
like,
the plumber.
Joe the plumber. Like he looks.
That
Like,
everybody knows.
I wonder if he's like a reference to because he kind of looks like Coffin Joe almost.
Yeah,
too.
because they make a big deal like, oh, you're Joe the plumber.
Joe
I'm
here?
Joe the plumber.
Is Joe here? Hey,
It's
is Joe
Joe the
here yet?
plumber.
Like, he
Where's
really-
Joe?
He really looks like Coffin Joe though. Have you ever
He
seen?
does like, yeah, I know Coffin Joe.
I don't.
At midnight, I'll take your soul and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional.
Maybe
or what.
Fabio Frizzi, the director, said
What did he say, Tanner?
Fabio Frizzi's not the director.
Nope.
That's the joke.
Not even close.
He's the composer.
Okay.
Or they even know her.
All right.
So Lucio Fulci is the Beyond.
Yep.
Good Lord, Tanner. So once he's awakened, he kills Joe, and at this point, it basically turns into like it.
Almost like a slasher film, but it's different
It's not quite.
people
it's a super-
killing them.
Yeah, it's a supernatural.
Supernatural slasher.
Because the idea is the house is built on top of hell, so that it can influence the rest of the town.
That is not conveyed very well.
It is not. It is not conveyed very well. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But the idea, like, that's the idea. Is like, it's. I guess that's part of like the Cthulhu concept. Is like it's like Dagon. Also, just a funny aside. There's a symbol on the wall downstairs. Like it's like a fish hook looking.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. They keep
That-
glaring over that.
What does
That's-
that mean?
It means nothing. It's he just took the design
Screw
from.
you, Louis.
Louis.
That's actually. I think sometimes he's credited as like Louis Coates.
So I'm gonna call him Louis, the
I
director.
think he is. I believe he is credited as Louis in the Seven Doors of Death because they didn't want it to be very obvious that he was an Italian man.
Sneaky.
Screw
But
you,
no,
Louis.
That symbol.
Making me think things mean
That
something.
symbol is literally just a dumb amateur tattoo his daughter got. Like his daughter got a goofy tattoo. Like it means nothing.
Oh, that's kind
I
of cute,
love that.
though.
Yeah, I really
He
like
made fun
that.
of his daughter.
Sorry, daughter. Your cute little tattoo.
Your
is gonna be used-
tattoo sucks.
Typical
gonna be-
Fulci.
It's so bad it can seal away demons. It can seal a gate of hell.
Well, if you think about it, maybe that's the ultimate gift. He gave the tattoo meaning.
It's the gift of a tattoo.
He gave the tattoo meaning. That's actually
Just
I'm
like
gonna call
that
him up.
theory
I'm
of
gonna
a
call
dead
this
man
Louis boy
song.
up and tell him how he's such a
He's
good
dead.
dad.
He's dead. Yeah,
Is
he
his
is.
daughter alive?
You're just picking away over there.
He's dead.
My inside of my nose itches.
What
It's not picking
what
my
bodily functions aren't you going to express while I look over at you? I need to just like stare forward because like it's just a symphony of uncomfortable.
So after Joe the Plumber is when we largely
God we
get
don't film
into a
this.
sequence of deaths.
I'm glad we do.
The morgue. We go to the morgue. Well, first we go to the funeral. The New Orleans, like.
No. We
No,
go
the
to
morgue happens
morgue,
first.
then funeral, because the funeral is where it's revealed. So
Marvelize.
Isn't it that woman's funeral too?
no, first we have Liza meets Emily, who's the blind girl from the opening narration, and
on the road.
the blind
The fucking road.
Like, I don't give a shit because that is just so well photographed. Like, I just don't even care.
It's beautiful.
She just
It's
runs.
beautiful.
I don't really care. It's just so well photographed, that scene. Like, it's gorgeous. Like, the way it's shot, it just looks like it stretches on into infinity. Oh, it's so good.
It's
and
good.
I just don't give a shit that it makes no sense. So they talk to each other, and Emily warns Liza of about the house. Like, be careful.
Get the fuck out of this house.
Yeah, basically. And then we cut to a morgue where Joe's wife,
Just wife.
passes out and gets acid poured all over her face. And
She screams first, and then she gets acid poured on her face.
And then Joe's daughter
Comes in.
comes in and then gets attacked by the blob. And it's not the blob. It's blood and acid from her mom's
It's
face.
bubbly face acid.
Yeah, bubbly mom face acid.
I love that sequence. I think it's really fun.
Like, it's really fun, and also I think it's just really well photographed. Like, I love the
Snappy.
way. Yeah, it's snappy in the way, like the morgue in general. Like, it's this very like white or like bright fluorescent white.
Yeah, it's a big change from like the very like rustic hotel that we've been seeing up until this point.
Yeah, it's almost like super modern.
Yeah, it's like sterile.
Yeah, super modern, sterile.
I'm
and then,
sterile.
You are.
And
Thank
then
God.
The way the blood moves is just really good. Like, because it's not like just oozing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like fizzy. It looks like cherry
It's a
Slurpee,
fizzy lifting
basically.
beverage. Yeah, it's coming out of her face.
Yeah, cherry Slurpee straight from your mom's face.
Straight from your mom's face to you. Mom tested, kid approved.
And
My mom worked at 7-Eleven.
Ooh. You want a fizzy slush.
and
A purple
I don't
slush.
care what you call it. It's a Slurpee.
That's a good meme.
Can we keep that in?
Oh yeah. I don't care.
so we have that sequence, and it's sort of that's like hinting at Joe being supernatural and the idea that it's not just the house that can be affected. That's the main reason that even
Yeah,
happens.
it creeps into the town.
Yeah. And then we see some more stuff with that. There's actually a doctor who works at the morgue, who's I cannot remember the name of the actor or the character, frankly.
Oh yeah, he just
freaked out
fucks
'cause
off.
he was in
He's
Gundam or
a
something.
Yeah, he's a voice actor.
No.
He said, he was in Super
No,
Mega
I'm
Robot
talking-
Gundam XD Yu-Gi-Oh! Gales of Darkness.
No, I'm talking about the doctor who kind of looks like Jack Nicholson. There's another doctor.
I like Conan the Barbarian.
So there's another doctor with a mustache and a bowl cut who's, I'm pretty sure, voiced by Gregory Snagoff.
Voiced? What, don't you mean played?
No, voiced. He's not played by Gregory Snagoff. He's voiced by
Yeah,
Gregory
they don't
Snagoff.
record everything live.
Yeah, everything's done post.
Wait,
so since
I thought all the actors
up.
still did their own lines.
Shut up. So
That's stupid.
all
Some of
audio
them
is
spoke
recorded.
English while they were not getting recorded.
Well, because that actor. Let me explain something to you, Tanner.
Yes.
The recording studio is in Italy. That actor,
Chinachita,
yeah, he's in Illinois, my friend.
Illinois.
So, or not
Illinois.
Illinois, Louisiana.
What about the leads? 'Cause
Louisiana.
it matched really well, I thought.
Pardon?
What about the two leads?
They spoke
They were
English.
they were speaking English on set, but they
did
weren't being recorded
were they
live.
also dubbed in post?
Yes, everybody was dubbed in
Yes.
I
post.
hate Italy.
But when you dub people that are speaking English,
spaghetti,
it's easy to get their
stupid
voices
spaghetti, worthless people. Your movies suck.
right. Spaghetti.
Yeah, no. Just as a note
Edit
for
that
any
out.
of you guys who don't know, basically all Italian films for a very long time were dubbed, had sound recorded post sync.
And like even the big ones, like even Fellini, like no one on 8.5 is
yeah, Lucio
speaking the lines
Fulci,
on set.
director of artsy
Lucio
horror films about
Fulci.
clowns.
Yes.
But yeah, it was,
Paisa.
it was a cost cutting measure, and it also helped for prepping it for international markets.
Yep.
So that way you could have like, oh, this actor doesn't speak a lick of the language, but you could just have them speak their native tongue, and
You
then
can have
you could
Elaine
dub over it.
DeLong come on.
Yeah, I
It's
think that happened a lot with
impressive for the actors. I think
There's
then.
some Italian films with Klaus Kinski in them, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And he does not speak Italian,
Uh-huh.
but he's just dubbed in. I think it's like there's like, oh, well, The Great Silence, which is a really good Western. And I believe he was in a not great adaptation. Well,
Yeah,
of
when he wasn't
Dracula.
beating his daughter, he was, just being in good movies.
yeah, Klaus Kinski. What a
A
terrible man.
Yep.
Yep, just the worst. I was
Good
gonna
actor,
say
though.
great guy sarcastically, but
Great
I don't really
actor.
want to say that. Yeah, it was a great actor.
Great actor.
Terrible man. All right, we're losing the thread again.
Yep.
And damn it.
So basically, going to need to edit this
Long
whole
strings
I
of
kind of
violence.
like it. I like how
occur.
wild it is.
movie.
Long strings of violence occur for the most part, while they sort of kind of unravel the mystery of this weird hell house.
But like people who aren't the woman who owns the house keep getting pieces of it. I'm like, I don't know how they're connected to her at all. And a
Yeah,
guy
like
goes to the
Liza
library.
doesn't. Liza only kind of vaguely learns about, like, she
Yeah,
learns
she's
about
just there.
Aiden. Like, she learns about the Book of Aiden. And I'm going to call it Aiden and Aiden so that people can complain about both.
There you go. All
Then
our
she goes to
listeners.
hell.
Oh yeah.
The big two, like all the good big sequences. Well, Joe's death is a really great sequence. Again, the sequence in the morgue.
Oh, there's a guy that goes downstairs to fix the wall that was destroyed, and then he gets attacked by a zombie in the water.
Fix the wall.
Yeah, so Joe dies. Joe the plumber breaks through the wall, gets killed by a guy who was buried in the wall. Then another guy goes down to fix the wall, and then he gets killed.
No, that's Arthur, and we don't
Yeah.
see Arthur explicitly killed on screen.
Yeah, and then he jumps out of the water later and gets.
Yeah, and then
That's
to
way
attack
later.
Liza,
Yeah.
like way later. So we never see Arthur's death. We see oh no, because we see Martha's death, because Martha's the one who gets reverse zombied.
So she goes. The housekeeper Martha, who's been stalking around,
Yeah,
she shows up, and that's probably my favorite death in the whole movie. Next to Spider. Spider death's really good.
yeah, tarantulas.
Tarantulas.
Okay,
I can't remember the sequence of these deaths though.
yeah.
When does one woman get attacked by dog?
Dog is, I think, the one the death directly before the shit hits the fan. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
things totally go crazy.
Yeah,
in the town.
because Marble Eyes keeps showing up eventually, and
Marble Eyes
Yeah,
is
like,
like,
it's implied. Like,
be careful,
and
there
the
are demons.
there's this doctor who's basically the male lead.
yeah.
and he
He's
looks-
actually doing stuff.
Yeah, he sort of looks like Jack Nicholson. And
He does, doesn't
Jack Nickel Doctor.
yeah, so he's putzing around. He's putzing around investigating things. And so he goes to investigate the house that Liza drops Emily off at when she picks her up in the middle of the road.
Mhm.
And it's just been abandoned.
What a plot! What a plot! That house has been empty for 40 years.
Yeah. So it turns out Emily is,
Ghost eyes.
yeah, basically a ghost. Or like
She's a
it's- the impli-
ghost?
Yeah, the implication is that she's either a ghost or like she's someone who's been victimized by hell. Like she's been to hell and returned.
Yeah, because she says, "Don't want to go back." Later.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then wait, how did the dog kill her if she's a ghost?
Exactly.
Ghost
Seeing-eyed ghost dog.
Ghost dog.
Or the samurai.
If it's not
watch
the
a Jim
doctor or
Jarmusch
the
movie.
woman who bought a house, it's probably a ghost in this film.
What about the ginger?
Shh.
Yeah, Ghost Dog. Let's watch Jim Jarmusch's best movie.
Ghost dad?
Ghost dog. It's about
Starring
a
Bill
black
Cosby?
samurai.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
There you go.
Let's talk about other
Wait,
movies.
are you talking about Ghost
Alright.
Dad or Ghost Dog?
Ghost Dog
Oh, thank God.
Speaker of the wind.
and Ghost Dad.
There you go.
Ghost Dad is a bad movie.
It is. Not. It's
So
great.
much editing. So much.
So,
You want to make your job easy.
so then Emily is murdered by by her own seeing eye dog after her seeing eye dog attacks the body of the.
I love that because it protects her, and then she's like, "Thanks," and then it just goes straight for the jugular
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you skipped the tarantula scene.
we're going to get to that
when we get to the library.
because I want to save the
dog thing
tarantula.
happens
I want
after.
to save the tarantula scene for important reasons.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Schweik. Schweik
say
is
like that,
mauled by her dog, and then it mauls her. This is actually like you'll notice that the idea is see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, because the dog when
Goes
she,
for
like she's
her jugular.
blind, she is blind, and
Yeah.
the idea is that she speaks evil when she talks to Liza.
Oh,
That's why it rips out her throat and rips off.
so
her
Schweik
ears.
is really a good dude.
No. Schweik is a bad person, but the idea is that like she is speaking of evil, not like,
Of
you know what I
evil.
mean?
Oh, that's convoluted. Just like the plot
I mean,
of this
I
film.
think like it was more of just like how do we frame this death
You
sequence?
sound like you hate it, Josh.
I don't think the plot of this movie is good. I think the deaths are very enjoyable. And I think it's a fun movie.
I do not like the deaths, but I like the plot.
The
I like
plot's non-existent. It's so
It's
loose.
there.
It's so
just
loose.
very bare bones, but I like it for what it is.
I think it's very loose. It's an afterthought. It's a
That's it.
good stage to play these things out on.
I guess the ending is what really sticks with people, especially. But we're
the ending.
we are going to come back to the tarantula sequence because I'm sure that's like the big one. But I do want to briefly talk about the ending. But the reason I want to talk about the tarantula sequence is important. We'll get back to it.
So shit hits the fan. Zombies are everywhere. The whole town gets taken over.
And now it's just Liza and her doctor friend.
and the ginger.
and the ginger, and then the wee ginger lass who was turned into a blind when she was attacked by a zombie in her mom's face.
Yep. There was too much.
That's the only one that doesn't linger on. Her face is just shattered, and it's a really good effect, and it's genuinely like, wow, Fulci, because you like.
Oh yeah, he like grabs her face. The zombie like grabs her fucking. face.
No. The zombie doesn't grab her face. She turns into a zombie, and then Jack Nicholson doctor just blows her head off.
Oh yeah, he doesn't hesitate. I won't hesitate, bitch.
It kept being like, oh, he's out of ammo, and then he got more ammo.
Like it cuts when he's shot fewer than 6. So
yeah, he can only hit the other guy in the chest, but as soon as the girl gets taken over, it's wham right in the face.
I got pissed off because he kept shooting people in the chest when it was point blank range, and he should have been able to shoot.
Like a big part of that ending sequence is it's. Again, it's the weird nature of the film
Magic
as a
bullet?
whole. It's not just magic bullet.
Back
the
and
idea is
left.
it's framed like a dream. Like especially that end sequence. The idea is that they're
as soon as they drive into the town, it does get pretty.
like it becomes steadily more dreamlike, and the idea is that as hell takes over, and especially these two individuals, a reality kind of melts away. And I think on one hand, the zombie stuff does seem kind of tacked on, but I am kind of glad that it's different because City of the Dead and House of the Cemetery, they only had one, or House by the Cemetery, they only had one main like dead guy really.
I would have liked it more if there were less zombies.
Yeah, like I think it would have been stronger if they'd done something interesting, a bit more interesting with that, like if they put more emphasis on Dreamlike, because the only time like there is a scene,
he for as big as a buildup as he had, you only really see him two or three times.
I think the problem is for some reason I think they really just liked the makeup for Joe, because they show Joe a lot more than they show Dreamlike.
Joe is like one of the main dudes for some weird reason. It's just Joe, the plumber.
Like he's got a distinct face though.
Yeah, he's a good face. They should have made him Schweig.
Yeah,
They should have made him the main character.
Yeah. Schweig the
Except
plumber.
I like Jack Nicholson too, so.
Yeah.
And then eventually they they fight their way out of the morgue.
But they end up back in the house.
Yeah, they open up the door and then they just end up in the house.
So it is very dreamlike. Yeah, it is very dreamlike.
Yeah, the way the doors are connected.
This is impossible.
They end up circling around to the morgue, and they're like, "Where are we? What's going on?" And then they march in, and then they end up in this hellscape. And
It's like a lake bed. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sea of the Dead that was empty.
They didn't have any money, and there was a soundstage that already had sand on it.
It was cool looking. It looked good.
Yeah, originally, I can't remember. It was supposed to be like in the scripting phase. It just would have been way too expensive to actually shoot. It was supposed to be like a tropical thing. Like it was supposed to be like a weird.
And then they're back on Zombie Island.
Yeah. Actually, that would have been really good because at the very end, basically the entire score is original stuff, except for one track that's a little track from Zombie 2 that plays while they're entering.
Jesus.
And it's not it's the Zombie vs. Sharks theme. Like the
Oh yeah, you said that while we were watching it. I do want to talk about the music more dedicated.
We'll get to it. And then as they walk in, they see all these bodies. It's very like it really reminds me of Stalker.
The when they're in the room and there's all those people covered in sand, presumably.
Yeah.
And we always talk about Stalker on these fucking things. We just like Stalker. We should just watch Stalker.
I mean, we should. Stalker's a good movie.
Stalker's great.
We should have a Let's Play of Stalker.
You should watch Ivan's Childhood and all those. We could watch those.
Fine.
Tanner has more opinions that I don't like.
Solaris is baller.
Yeah, Solaris is better. Stalker's probably my least favorite Tarkovsky that I've seen. Honestly.
Solaris is awesome though, isn't it?
Yeah, I do.
My favorite Tarkovsky movie is the Clone Wars animated series.
Oh my god, Andre
I
loves the
love
best.
you, Ethan.
Anyway,
they walk through the city. Also, all the people, those are all real actors. They're just vagrants. They got off the streets and were like, "Hey, we'll give you some booze if you be extras."
we're gonna leave that. You look like you have alcoholism.
Please,
Yeah, let's feel that. 808s and Tanner breaks.
It was Italy. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Want a bicycle?
Here we go.
And so they enter the Sea of Darkness.
And then a narrator tells you
About the Sea
then they
of
disappear.
all right,
and
they've
it's all
entered the
contained.
Sea of Darkness.
all therein that lies.
So I thought they were in a painting.
So it is supposed
Yeah.
to be framed like Schweig's painting from the opening, but his painting is of hell.
Yeah.
Because the idea is that he's witnessed hell, and that's part of the reason that
He went
the
mad.
townspeople are like, "You're a warlock," because it's the early 1920s, and you're a weird, creepy guy who lives in a hotel who's reading books about Satan and drawing pictures of hell.
You're a hell man.
Yeah, so
Hellbent.
yeah, hellbent for leather. He's a real hellraiser too.
Hell looks
Faster,
so boring in
faster
this movie.
Spike.
I love how minimalist hell is in this movie.
I love it
honestly.
too.
It's
but
cool.
Minimalist is probably a better word than boring.
Like it's like for again, like it's maximizing the budget more than anything.
I think it's
understand.
effective. It's moody.
It's moody and
It's a moody hell.
I like it as like instead of fire and brimstone, it just seems like a place where people suffer. Like they're just constantly uncomfortable.
I do like a good like Coffin Joe hell where there's like boobs in the wall and hands reaching out. But you know, it's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just like it's more like Coffin Joe hell is like claustrophobic,
Ooh.
whereas this hell is like terrifying. In its expanse.
terrifyingly vast and empty.
It's good. Like it's the perfect. I think honestly a big part of the reason people love this one is the ending, just because I feel like it puts such a nice bow on it, and it almost makes
It makes
feel
everything else work. Where you're just like, yeah, okay.
yeah, like
It justifies it. It
I
doesn't try
really
and
do
like.
like
I
the
think if it
ending.
tried to get like too locked down, like if it tried to like tie everything together too much, it doesn't try to do
Yeah,
that.
I
Like
feel
it's
like-
pleasantly.
Movies fall into
open.
the trap of trying to tie everything together too
I feel
well.
like that's the issue with City of the Living Dead has an issue where the ending is just like it's an Italian horror movie, so it has to be a downer ending. House by the Cemetery has a real fucking downer ending.
Mhm.
Like it's real. Oof. But I don't know. House by the Cemetery probably has the stronger
I respect
ending.
horror movies with happy endings more
I don't know
because
like,
most of them don't have it. Because
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
don't need
oh,
it.
let's go on a downer. I respect it when it ends happily.
I'd love a
Like
good
Texas
downer.
Chainsaw Massacre, relatively speaking, kind of has a happy ending.
God, we just need to watch that again.
Doesn't
that
it?
movie changed
I
me.
feel like-
Ooh, I love it.
The Beyond, I feel like it does the right thing in the sense that the characters survive, but they're like sort of forced. It's sort of like Texas Chainsaw from
Yeah, where it's like they're kind of fucked.
Changed
they've been
for life.
like
Yeah,
in Texas Chainsaw, she went through hell and back, and in the Beyond, they just go to hell.
and maybe they come back. We'll see in a sequel.
Yeah.
Beyond Hell, Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, can we just get the Beyond terror?
Can we do a
Beyond
podcast
2.
about the best Mad Max movie, Fury Road? Wait,
No.
not Fury Road. Road Warrior.
Nope.
I'll do one.
You can do it. It's still your show.
Yeah.
I feel like the adjacent cast is more your thing.
I love
I
it.
guess it doesn't matter.
I like
We
it.
could watch
more.
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
You know what?
if you
I
wanna
could
watch
do an
bad
adjacent
things.
cast with other people
Shut up.
besides
You
you. people.
could.
You
yeah.
could. Yeah. Don't.
That
constrain
came
yourself.
off as mean. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I
it
don't
like
care.
that.
Like
do it.
our whole shtick is cult stuff. Like I wouldn't mind being on a Spider-Verse thing, but I would understand like Josh.
I'm
like-
gonna try and do
Yeah.
a Spider-Verse thing, and I'll probably get rain on it.
So
Okay.
do it.
So that's a great ending, and I feel like there's a lot of good things to talk about. But tarantula scene,
Yes.
tarantula
Yes.
dome,
Spider library.
spider library. So the architect for who's helping on repair. So that's actually what he is, because I didn't know what he was. The architect who's helping on repairs with the house. He goes to the library to help look for some records on the house.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the clerk is Lucio Fulci. That's why his lip flaps didn't work, because he's speaking Italian.
That's why his lip flaps didn't work.
That's what, because the only time Tanner, despite the fact that this movie's really obviously dubbed,
Oh yeah, that
Tanner-
was like that was the bad one.
yeah, Tanner only noticed that it was dubbed when Lucio Fulci spoke in Italian and it
Mr.
didn't sync
Fulci.
up with his English.
Well, that's because it's really, really obviously dubbed there.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
really obvious.
It's really bad, but it's especially bad there.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
give you that. Like
Yeah.
especially if you're not thinking about it.
Because I
Um,
wasn't thinking it was dubbed, so I wasn't looking for it.
Mm-hmm. And he sneaks up on you, Fulci. You got Fulci'd, bitch.
I got folk-eyed.
You just got Fulci'd.
And what
I'm a real
happens is there's a
fun
crack
guy.
of lightning, and he falls off of a ladder.
Thunder.
Nope.
Feel the thunder.
That's getting cut.
Lightning and the thunder.
So, and we see it focuses on his face as he's laying down, and in the distance, it's out of focus, and then
For no reason.
it shifts focus. Tarantulas, and they make the sound they make as they move is metal scraping, and I love it.
It's
it
so good.
doesn't like
It's
it
a
doesn't
really
technically
effective
work,
scene.
but it's so effective.
I think it's great.
Like in the mixture of like live action tarantulas and the puppet like the puppet tarantulas are pretty obvious, but I feel like
The prosthetics on his face look so good, though. Like how they're just
Yeah.
chewing through his flesh. It's like so disturbing.
all
and-
the tarantulas start
Ugh.
crawling up onto his face. And
Yeah.
they look like they're chewing on his tongue, or like it looks like they're injecting him with venom.
yeah, and
almost.
they're just like melting through his skin. Ah, it's so good.
It's very
It's a very effective scene.
I
It's
couldn't watch it. It was a bit too much.
It's
for me,
so
'cause I'm
uncomfortable.
Like,
I'm
it's this
kind of an arachnophobe.
uh-huh.
like it's
I'm better about it now
extremely
than I was when I was
visceral.
young, but
You
yeah.
have this metal scraping of them moving, and it's not like they don't like chitter or anything, but it's just
Mhm.
like metal scraping whenever.
Yeah,
they
it's not your
move.
typical insect scene, you know? It's just, they're not really
As, like-
insects, but still.
Yeah, as Frizzy's soundtrack just wails in the
Yeah.
background. Oh, it's so well framed. And here's the thing I wanted to get to for Tanner. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, during the montage of scenes where where Peter Parker, like after he gets bit, there's like a montage, and those are culled from other movies. There's a scene where it's the architect, like it's supposed to be a POV shot, and he's looking at a spider like crawling over.
Uh-huh.
That was taken. That shot was directly taken from the Beyond and edited in for that montage.
Yeah, because Raimi's
they get
all
the
in
rights?
They got the rights. It was completely legal. Like
That's legit. I love that.
That's really cool.
I thought you said you were gonna make me mad.
Oh no, I'm going to make you mad.
You
with
assume that.
later.
I feel like you're gonna tell me you like it better than Saul. For some reason,
I
that's
do,
what I'm
but,
expecting.
Like,
I like it more than Endgame.
Saul's my favorite horror movie.
Did I catch that?
I'm not going to acknowledge that trash.
Okay. All right.
we're in the real end game now. We're beyond the end game.
We're beyond the end game now. Can we make a cult sequel to this that combines the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the
Tanner
Beyond
by the
and call it
Endgame?
We're beyond the end game.
Tanner Beyond the Endgame.
Tanner by the end game. A Baker's
Raiders of the
Endgame.
Tanner Beyond the End Game. Of
That's
the Lost
Tanner's
Ark.
ass.
That's America's ass, as far as I'm concerned.
Fuck me. All
You
right.
said I couldn't say the A word anymore.
This is a podcast. Fuck, cunt, whore, bitch.
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker,
He takes it
motherfucker,
back
piss,
to fucking
farts, turd,
shitty
and
pop
twat.
punk.
It's a Blink-182 song.
Oh, wow. The edgiest.
Played that Blink-182
Remember when George
song?
Carlin was in Tarzan 2? Remember when he played the Lily Monkey in
No.
Tarzan 2?
Was he?
He played,
Wait. Was he really?
yes, he was in.
That's
Tarzan 2.
incredible.
Did
The
that clip?
direct-to-DVD
Yeah,
sequel.
oh yeah. Every time Tanner opens his hole, he just clips.
Oh, I opened my hole, all right.
Open that
My
hole.
When I poop.
Beyond that hole.
Beyond my butthole is my colon.
Let's talk about sex lives again.
Sex, Lies, and Videotapes is an okay movie.
All right.
Sex
Music?
Crime. Oh, Sex Crime. That was an Eurythmics song off the 1984
Sex
soundtrack.
crime and videotape.
I know the director did not want it. It was the producers insisted on having a pop song for their adaptation of 1984. It's a shame. It's a good song, but it just does not fit with 1984.
I like that Tom Petty song where he says, "Don't come around here."
Did you know
no
that
more."
there's a Tom Petty music video that pays homage to Winsor McKay? It's like a Little Nemo homage. Like he hangs around with Little Nemo and he goes on the bed. No, he hangs out with Flip.
Not the
Little
Alice in
remake.
Wonderland one?
No,
Tom Petty's great. I love Tom Petty.
he likes Winsor McKay, so I was very surprised by that.
Cute boy. He
And
died
I
way too young.
won't
Don't like it. And his house
back
burned down.
I was
Down.
heartbroken.
Remember in the
He was
Nickelodeon?
housebroken.
Remember in Nickelodeon's Barnyard when they used
Tom
to...
Petty in the house.
Wait, guys, remember in Nickelodeon's Barnyard
Tom
where
Petty
a
in
Tom
the
Petty
Housebreakers.
song, where a Tom Petty song was like a pivotal plot point
And what?
in Nickelodeon's Barnyard?
The movie?
I
or
haven't
the
seen
yeah,
the movie.
the
in
movie.
years.
I don't know.
I
The
don't wanna
TV
think
show
about
was
that.
called Back to the Barnyard, You Uncultured Swine.
Beyond the Barnyard.
You're basic.
I did like the hand.
You're basic.
I do like the hand movement. So the music in this,
Is killer.
it's really good. It's also all over the fucking place because there's like orchestral shit and then there's this weird keyboard fuck
And then
around.
there's moaning.
Oh yeah.
There's on the official soundtrack for this film.
Oh, yeah.
There's a track that's it's like 7 minutes of moaning that they recorded for the end scene. It's really good.
Ethan made me listen to it, and I guess that was the first time I knew what the
Nice.
Beyond is.
I'm gonna play that Wednesday.
So Fabio Frizzi soundtrack for this film,
Yep.
like he does a lot of traditionally Frizzi does a lot of very synthetic music, keyboards.
Boy loves a synthesizer.
Yeah, he loves the synthesizer, and even in this film, he makes heavy use of it. But it was like he wanted like to pull in the big guns, so there's a lot of like bass, and there's a lot like bass music instruments rather, like cello, like big bassy string instruments.
It's good.
And he does this really cool thing where he has like a lot of music Italian musicians who did stuff for horror stuff. He uses the shit out of the choir setting on his keyboard, but he also has an actual choir. So there's this actually really nice juxtaposition
What
of
about more choir?
the synthetic choir and a live action choir. It's really good. Like the way a synthetic choir on a keyboard is always going to like, it does not naturally shift tones at all.
Mhm.
And then when you have that juxtaposed with something that can actually like fluidly transition between different, I want to say tonalities, but that's not
Good
right.
juxtaposition.
It's good. Yeah, juxtaposition. It's the highest form of art. Like when I think
Stanley Kubrick wishes he could make match cuts these good.
we're gonna talk about that.
You had to bring that up. Now he's gonna talk about bullshit.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
So, and he just does a lot of cool stuff with the soundtrack in this film. A lot of theme and variation stuff going on, which is very unique and good. I think Rolling Stone did like a best horror film soundtracks, and it was up there. It was like
Really?
number 11.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And it was right behind The Shining.
So what about The Shining?
I think this movie's better than The Shining.
Nope.
Yeah, like
Nope.
my biggest issue with The Shining.
Wait, that's your take? That's supposed to make me
That's
mad?
his take.
You think I like The Shining that much?
Do you not like The
It's my least
Shining?
favorite Kubrick movie. I like it
Have
fine.
you seen Barry Lyndon?
Barry Lyndon's awesome.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up. That's
What
my
do you think is
favorite
Kubrick's
movie.
worst?
The one that he disowned.
Which one's that?
It's he made it in the 50s, like before
Is
the
that
killing.
is that
The
boxing
only
movie?
thing that
It's
is
that boxing movie. It's included as like a bonus feature of The
Yeah,
Killing. I
I
never
guess.
watched it.
The
I was
only
like, I'll watch
thing
this
that's in
eventually.
competition for Kubrick's worst is
Eyes Wide Shut. I don't love.
Eyes Wide Shut.
I don't love it. Maybe I need to.
I
watch it
love
again.
The Shining. Don't get me wrong. No, I don't love The Shining.
You
I
like The Shining more than you like Full Metal Jacket?
I love Full Metal Jacket more. You're right.
Anyway, so you
What
think
made
this
you
is
think
better
that would
than
make me mad?
Well, because you were the one who defend. I guess you flipped on that as well. Because you were the one who very ardently said,
I watched The Shining.
I don't
again.
mind that Stanley Kubrick literally tortured people to make this
I watched
movie.
The
It's a
Shining
good
again
performance.
recently.
She gives a good performance.
I
She could have
watched-
given a good. She would have given a good performance.
Yeah, because she's a
and
good
you know why.
actress. But I
Yeah.
mean,
I watched
He
The
didn't
Shining
need to torture
again.
it out.
no,
of
he
her.
was a prick.
I think what happened is I
Yeah.
watched The Shining again recently, and I realized I didn't like it as much as 16-year-old me did.
Okay, so of the two sexist men making films, okay,
Stanley Kubrick probably made better movies in general.
yes,
I don't know. Like I haven't showed you
2001,
guys
baby.
Conquest. Conquest is Lucio Fulci's Conan the Barbarian.
2001
I love the White
was my
Stripes
least
song
favorite
about it.
Kubrick movie
What?
until I
the
saw it in
White Stripes
theaters.
song about it.
No,
You haven't heard Conquest?
I guarantee you, it's not about that movie.
Did you guys see 2001 in IMAX
Alright.
when they did that release?
I didn't get
No.
a chance to. No,
Oh, that's a shame. It was beautiful. It made me like.
but that sounded
2001.
so patronizing. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, that's a shame.
I
Well,
didn't
enjoyed
like.
it.
I didn't like 2001 until I saw it in IMAX.
I love
like
2001.
And then I got it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this movie blew my mind."
It's good. It's consciously slow. Like it's just doing it to piss you off. People say it's artsy, but no, he's just being a dick.
But I get it. I like it. I like
think he's
it.
being a
I
dick.
like how slow it is, though.
I guess. I don't know.
I like the
it's
slowness.
like a
I like the
grandness.
build up.
Like I guess
Can we do a podcast about 2001?
I guess
Yes,
I've just seen enough Russian movies that I'm like, this isn't slow. This is
Yeah, but like when I watch
This isn't
Tarkovsky,
War
I'm like,
and
this is
Peace.
poetry. When I watch 2001, I'm like, no, we're just in space.
I don't know.
Like there's a point to it, but it's very slow. It's
Yeah.
a slow movie.
Yeah, I get that, but like I've never gotten like has he said
I like Andrei Rublev more than I like
Anyway, I
2001.
wouldn't
That's what I'm
agree. I
saying.
would not agree that The Shining is better
Like-
than this movie, but I can see the argument.
I guess The Shining sets out for some very like my biggest issue with The Shining is it's always tense,
Let me
which
put it
is
this
not
way.
like a bad thing necessarily. But the problem with The Shining is it never like because it kind of
It's a
like,
one-trick pony.
it escalates, but it doesn't escalate enough. For
The
my
Shining
taste.
is a horror movie directed by someone who was not a master of horror, while The Beyond is directed by someone who is objectively a king of horror.
Objectively.
objectively. I don't.
Objectify women.
Okay, objectively,
You didn't object. It's like
Fulci
No, he
is a
didn't
king of
object
horror.
that.
Fulci is a king of horror. I haven't seen that many of the movies, but I know his influence
He's a horror boy.
and the respect for him in the genre.
Yeah, he likes horror boys.
looms
Yeah, he did some good
large.
westerns and stuff as well, but
I
Western
just know
horror
he's a
boys.
very important and influential director in the horror
yeah,
genre
Four
specifically.
Horsemen of the Apocalypse is pretty good. It's I mean it's a western.
We had
not
some
a
Zod
horror.
today, guys. It was great.
Um,
Yeah.
but I guess my problem with The
This is
Shining
this
is
bid.
The Shining always has a level of tension throughout, but it kind of loses its effect. Like it gets tenser, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but there's never any sense of deterioration throughout the film. Like
Yeah, the world is always
It's so
pretty.
subtle and slow, while The Beyond is definitely more in your face about it.
like it's not even the subtlety. Like my issue with The Shining is I feel like the effect wears off simply because like when things deteriorate, you always have a sense that things aren't quite as they should be, like that things are going to fall apart.
Well, in The Beyond, it's just kind of like, hey, everything seems normal. Why is there
Okay,
a
I can
dead
get
body
that.
in the
Yeah,
basement?
it's-
Like with
I
The
respect
tension
that.
goes so long that it's just like, you're just waiting for these two people to get attacked and you know they will be.
Not
so.
to mention,
Yeah.
I feel like I want The Shining to build to something a little more than it does.
Like I feel like The Shining, like I wouldn't mind if it built to what it did. Again, the problem
what we're saying
there's
here
that
is
old
that The
story about
Shining's
how
not that good.
There's that old story about how Robin
Take
Williams
that, Dan F.
about how Robin Williams was supposed to play Jack Torrance, and I feel like that would have worked.
I
want to
watch that movie because I think it'd be better.
I think it would be a lot better because Robin Williams in 24-Hour Photo, he can play a psychotic, like he can play a weird.
24-Hour Photo was great.
And
It's
I
good.
feel like Robin Williams is so charismatic that like even if it was like as we know him now, like the problem with Jack Nicholson is always on. Jack Nicholson always looks like he's
Is
about to
Robin
murder
Williams
his family.
also not always on though?
Like Robin Williams is always
Yeah,
on,
but like Jack Nicholson's like
Jack
always
Nicholson
you're a
has
little
one
nervous.
mode.
You're
Jack
a little
Nicholson
nervous.
has one mode. Robin Williams has two.
Yeah, you can
Robin-
be kind of nervous around Jack Nicholson.
like Robin Williams is your dad who can really slow down when he's not doing too much cocaine.
Mhm. God, he did a lot of cocaine.
What happened? Why didn't Robin Williams play him?
I think he was just he was playing something else.
Too
He was
much
doing
Mork.
different.
Too much Mork.
Maybe
Maybe
he
he's too
didn't have.
pregnant.
Was he Kubrick's first choice?
He was Kubrick's first choice. Yeah.
Weird. Kubrick was
Wow,
such a
I
good.
want to live in a world where Robin Williams is in The Shining because I genuinely think that's a much better movie.
Yeah, and plus The Shining.
Don't get me wrong, Jack Nicholson's great in The Shining. Robin Williams would have been better.
I don't know. The Shining has some good points. Like it is a great movie. Let me be clear. I really do like The Shining. I just like the Beyond.
No, The
more,
Shining
like,
sucks.
and I guess part of it is an awareness of what went into it. Like The Shining was a Kubrick movie after Kubrick had already very much established himself.
and he
as
had
a-
all the resources
Yeah,
he
he
could
had
possibly want.
every possible resource. And he still couldn't do a decent fucking match cut. Still couldn't do a decent match cut. He could
You
go
have to go frame by frame. It was easier back then.
Yeah, like you
Just look at the cells.
just look at the cells and
Just
just
look
make
at the
make the
cells.
bone look like it's going to be in the no.
Yeah,
how-
I'm just gonna say when I saw the 2001 Space Cut after it was hyped up to me to be the greatest match cut ever, I went, it doesn't match very well.
There's an improved version. It's just like 2 frames difference, and then it fits perfectly.
Yeah,
Why
it's
didn't you do
not a
that?
very good match cut.
No, it's a bad match
it's
cut.
not the thing is it's not that it's a great match cut. It's that it's a great example of a match cut.
Yeah,
like it's
because it's like years. It's just like
yeah, like in terms of
Yeah,
as
in
a
terms of
transition.
that,
what
I
it's
just wish
supposed
it
to
was
do.
a little
It's a-
technically better. Is what
No,
I'm
oh no,
saying.
yeah, no, it's not a good match cut.
It was hyped up for me on a technical level. Was the thing.
Whoever did that was a liar.
mhm. Welcome
My
to film
editing
school.
teacher, who won an Emmy for editing.
Welcome to film school.
Yeah, a daytime Emmy doesn't count.
No, it wasn't. It was a prime.
We're at a
time Emmy.
Webster facility.
Who did that? I feel like there wasn't much competition there.
It was a very specific category.
But still, I mean, that's pretty impressive in some way.
So yeah,
Have you won an Emmy?
Yes.
I don't think it's better than
Was
The
it for
Shining.
animation?
Really, I'm curious.
I'm gonna say it. I think they're both equally good. That's a
No.
lie. I like The Shining more.
Yeah, I don't think it equals up. Like this movie, I enjoyed
Shining
the death
has better
scenes.
death
I think it's
scenes.
good. But like The Shining is a stronger film. I think this movie has a lot of flaws. Like this is not like an A quality movie. You know,
Yeah,
I
the
get
death
that.
scenes suck for one.
the death scenes are fantastic.
No, they're terrible. They're long. They're drawn out. They're boring, and I don't
So
care about
Tanner
any of
didn't
them.
enjoy the death scenes, and he was made uncomfortable by them, and so he doesn't like them.
I was made uncomfortable by that spider one, and that's it. I didn't
get
like
that.
the other ones.
Like,
I thought they were long and drawn out and boring.
When I
That's
say
fine.
that, I recognize that it's not like. I mean, with art, you can never be like super
Actually, I
objective.
have more to say about this movie than I thought.
But with
Go figure, you have
with me,
opinions.
it's just that the Beyond hits so many buttons that it's just like great weird Italian horror soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the production
Great
values.
horror
I think
films, gorgeous despite its low budget, and that's always something that will appeal to me. Like I love films that are extremely well made and well
With few resources. you
Yeah,
know,
with-
they didn't have everything to pour into it. So
yeah, that
yeah,
always
like I said, I
impresses me.
respect it as a work of art. Don't get me wrong. I think the lighting is great. I think the
no lighting,
cinematography is great.
so beautiful. The night
acting
scenes. Yeah.
is great. I think all these things are really good. It's the
Mhm.
voice acting and the physical acting really do feel in sync. Because I didn't notice. I didn't notice until well on, and I think that takes a lot of skill as an editor and as a voice actor in post.
The
for that to
interesting thing
work.
is Lucio Fulci didn't speak English, and he was directing actors who did not speak Italian. So
How does that work? Is there an interpreter, or is it like
there was his PA actually was fluent in English and Italian. So
I feel like he
kind
should have
of
been more
was
than
go
just a
between.
PA.
But Fulci did a lot of stuff like he would mime stuff, like he would just like make this face basically.
If
kind
you
of-
can get the point across, that's good. Like I said, I respect Fulci. I respect the movie. I just
you don't have to respect. Like I guess
I would
as
have
an
liked
artist,
it more
you respect
if the
Fulci.
death
He's a man.
scenes were not as drawn out. I mean, I made a horror movie and it was terrible, so I have no room to talk. But
But you, I don't know. My whole thing is, like then I feel like you would like Argento a lot more. Like I like the sort of the way he lingers on things, just because I like long cuts, frankly.
I like things that make me uncomfortable, and I feel like this film is very successful in the deaths of like making you uncomfortable.
Baby.
Yeah, you do when you touch yourself and you're.
My balls itch.
I don't want
Leaving that in.
anybody else.
I'm sorry, my balls itch.
Just cut it in as a chapter marker every time we transition in subject.
Just my balls
My
itch.
balls itch.
Put it through the hyperdrive filter.
My balls itch.
No, it would just sound like
Chorus
nothing.
effect.
But then if somebody tried to run it backwards to get it.
Play it in reverse, and they're like, "What's that?" Run it backwards.
It's like in Zardoz, there's a character who just speaks backwards, and then if you play it back, it's just, congratulations, you found the secret message.
I love that.
We need to watch
That's so
Zardoz.
cute. I love
We
that.
need to watch Zardoz.
What is that? I want to watch it.
It's Zardoz. It's this
Zardoz.
trashy. What's his? It's
Congratulations.
It's a
you
British
found the
art.
secret
It's a
message.
British.
Who's
science
the?
fiction
It's
art.
fucking James Bond is in it though.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Daniel
Yeah,
Craig,
Sean Connery. No, Sean Connery.
Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton,
Sean
Pierce
Connery. You don't have to flex your
Brosnan.
fucking movie dick on me, okay? Yeah,
Pierce Brosnan, right?
sure.
Sean Brosnan.
Leah Sado.
Sean Connery is in it, and he wears
Tim Fletching?
Spandex.
I mean, Ian Fleming.
Tim Flanagan.
Pete
Yeah.
Timmerman?
The Beyond.
This has been Pete Timmerman.
This has been The Beyond.
What do you think Pete Timmerman thinks about The Beyond?
I'm curious now. I should ask him.
Let's
Let's give him a ring.
Can we call him in?
Well, let's
He
call
apparently
him.
goes to Subway every day, so maybe we can find him in
Why does he
there.
go to every day? That's too much money. I'm gonna yell at Pete about that.
I don't know. I've just seen him. I've heard multiple stories about people seeing him walk out of Subway.
I'm gonna get him a gift card.
The Subway?
He's gonna like the way he looks.
I have a Steak and Shake gift card. You want to
I
get
guarantee
milkshakes
it.
after this?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it's worth a try. How about next week?
Shakes?
I have a Steak and Shake gift card.
Let's get shakes.
Would you let me use part of it?
I'll
would you
buy.
do your
I'll,
movie
I'll buy
pass
us all shakes today if we go.
Okay.
Because I have $10. That should be enough for a shake for each of us, right?
This has been Beyond the Shakes. No,
Then I'll pay for the rest of it.
I'll
after
give you
the
money.
gift
It's fine.
I
I
have
still gotta
money.
pay Ethan.
card. I have money.
So yeah, The Beyond.
the Beyond.
I'm so sorry I derailed that.
That's
No,
fine.
you're fine. In other news, but no. To be fair, I think like I waffle. Like it kind of depends on my mood. I generally think Suspiria is a better movie though. Like because I kind of lump The Shining, Suspiria, and The Beyond into a similar category. Like they're all sort of like
Interior. horror.
interior isolated horrors.
I'm gonna rank 'em.
particularly. Like more than just like they're all different spaces. Like in a way, like one's a like very secluded hotel, one's like more of a motel sort of thing, and one is a boarding school, like a dance boarding school.
I'm gonna rank them. Shining, Beyond, Suspiria.
Really, I wasn't expecting that because I think I like typically like again generally I like Suspiria a bit more just because I love the colors, the way the color is used in that film. God, Suspiria
I
is
am
so
more into
pretty.
the plot of The Beyond than I am into the plot of
Really?
Suspiria.
That's interesting. Like
I haven't seen Suspiria.
Suspiria's a lot
That's
more-
my interesting hot take of the day, I guess. I don't think Suspiria is that good.
Huh.
It's beautiful and gorgeous to look at, and I think it works effectively as a horror movie.
Also,
I just don't think it has a very intriguing and engaging plot.
yeah. Also, a big thing is, like I like the Beyond score more than I like Suspiria's, but Suspiria's score is also very very good. It's Goblin.
I hear the Tom York score on
also
the new
did-
one is really good.
I didn't see it. Oh yeah, the prog band, the
yeah,
Italian
Prog Band. They did Dawn of the
Yeah.
Dead, and
Radiohead?
all that.
No. Radiohead's not prog.
prog band, right?
Ugh.
I listened to Creep for the first time the other day.
Did you listen to OK Computer yet?
I did, remember, and I didn't like it.
But
Listen
like
to it
again,
you
I
like
kind
fake
of,
plastic trees though. You like Benz. You like the Benz.
Yeah, that was a really good album. I loved it.
kind of highlighting the differences between the two. I think it's interesting that Argento. A lot of people say Argento just kind of ran out of steam, basically. Like there is sort of a sudden, like a lot of people say, oh, he just completely dropped off after I think it was his Phantom of the Opera adaptation, which is a very bad movie. It is very very bad. Do not watch.
The only good Phantom of the Opera movie is the first one from like the 20s that doesn't even have music in
Nope.
it.
You're incorrect. Phantom of the Paradise.
I haven't seen that.
Phantom of the
I
Paradise.
don't know
rules
what that
ass.
is.
Phantom of the Paradise is a Brian De Palma horror comedy rock opera.
Wait.
That sounds like
Brian De
terrible.
Palma made a Phantom of the Opera movie?
Ick.
It's actually really good.
That sounds incredible.
It's gorgeous.
It's
like,
De Palma.
Well, we'll watch that next. Do you think Scarface is like enviable? Like I like it. 'cause
No,
it's an indie
Scarface
film.
is terrible, but I love it.
But Brian De Palma does
It's
like
good for
good
an
horror
indie
stuff,
movie, yeah.
like Carrie.
Didn't he do a double something? exact
De
double. or
Palma's
something
a
double?
very talented and
Did De
influential
Palma
filmmaker.
do Blowout?
I'll blow you out.
I think so. Yeah, with
Yes, he did.
Travolta.
Oh, Blowout has that one incredible shot that blows my mind every time I see it.
I haven't seen
With
it.
the 360.
I haven't seen
It's this crazy 360 shot that goes on for like 5 minutes.
I still haven't seen Blowout.
Can I show you this shot in the
No,
movie?
No,
I
I
want to
wanna
watch
see it.
Blowout in its full context, honestly.
It's
Okay.
incredible. You'll know the shot once you see it, and you'll agree with me that it's mind-blowing.
It's been on my list for a
And
while. But I do have a copy
you'll-
of Phantom of the Paradise. Phantom of the Paradise is a very, very good time.
Okay, well, we're off the rails here. Anything else we want to say about the Beyond?
I think I like it more than I did at the beginning of this podcast.
Like
Well, there you go.
basically another quick hot take thing is I think like while Fulci may have not reached the highs that Argento did, at least in terms of career stuff, I feel like Fulci was consistently a better filmmaker. Like Argento is sort of a George Lucas sort of guy where
high
he had,
highs,
like,
low lows.
like he had a couple really good early highs,
Mm-hmm.
and even then that's debatable. Like I think again, like I don't think Deep Red's that great of a movie. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And then like I would argue he kind of fell off the wagon. Like Inferno is pretty good. Inferno, it's not as good as Suspiria, but it's still a good time. And to be fair, I haven't seen Tenebrae, so I can't say if that's so good or not. But like Demons is trashy. Like it's trashy fun, but it's pretty like it's not like I feel like The Beyond has some level of artistry to it,
Mhm.
or like Suspiria has a huge level of artistry to it. So I feel like Fulci kind of got the shaft. I mean, as a person, he's not great.
No.
Is he like
No.
Kubrick and that he's an ass?
He's, like,
I
very
screwed
sexist.
up the microphone.
Yeah, I'll need to.
That's
I do
easy
need to
enough to
read.
fix.
Who told you about that? Because I've never.
What?
I haven't read much about Fulci.
I was watching the the special features for Zombie. Like it's very open on them that like he was a dick to all the women and he treated them like bimbos, even though the roles like he wrote for them in Zombie were like as bimbos, like there was nothing for them to do, and he's like just treated them like sluts, even though they were actresses, and that was not great.
I don't know. I wonder if that was like
the difference?
I don't know.
Like
at
a
least
time
at least to
to-
the blonde woman who was in the shower and had her eyeball jabbed.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was a real dick to her apparently.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
That's a shame. I wonder if that was like a consistent thing, or if that was like because that was at a point when his career was kind of stalling as
Yeah.
well. Like because that was after Psychic had come out and it was kind of a flop. He'd made some decent westerns, but like Zombie 2 was a big sort of a comeback for him that he would ride until he finished up the Gates of Hell.
We've been recording for an hour and a half, haven't we?
No, hour and like 12, 13 minutes.
Yeah. Also,
Shorter than Angel.
another cool thing about Fulci, he made his trilogy in 3 years, and all of them are pretty good at the very least, as opposed to Argento, who his trilogy took him 1,000,000 years, and exactly 2 of them, one of them is really good, one of them's pretty good, one of them's very bad.
And that one's Suspiria.
Yes. Shut up, Tanner.
There we go.
Ladies and
Remember when
gentlemen.
I thought your Instagram handle was a racial slur?
No, I don't.
I
Stop
said it
recording.
was sundown.
So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can go to Josh Campbell.
I'm at Craft Tanner. It's actually pretty easy to remember.
And
I'm at Sundown McMoon.
See,
and,
I thought the moon started with a C and not an M.
and this has been another episode of the Adjacent
Jason
Cast.
podcast. Thank you for listening. We'll be doing Spider-Verse next week.
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."